Welcome back to Island Life Live. U.S. Representative Ed Case has been hitting the streets with a series of walk stories, listening to concerns straight from his constituents. Today, he walked into our hall, and boy, we were ready for him now. Yeah. We are so happy to welcome him back to the show.
Congressman, I mean, if we're being honest, there's a lot of trepidation. There's a lot of people that are concerned with the federal cuts, the funding freezes, Medicare, Social Security are all in the news cycle. And you sit on a very powerful committee in the U.S. House of Representatives, the Appropriations Committee. So basically, you guys are the ones that decide where the money is going to be spent. Can you provide an update for our kupuna who right now are just like sitting at the edge of their seat, wanting to hear from you directly?
Sure. So yes, I've been on appropriations now for 7 years, so I'm in my fourth full term on appropriations. I was really lucky to get on appropriations when I went back to Congress in 2019. And as you say, it's such a powerful and important committee because it funds all of the federal government. It also oversees all of the federal government because, you know, if you're funding them, you got to know what they're doing, right? Senator Schatz is on Senate appropriations, by the way. So this is one of, if not the only state that has appropriators on both House and Senate side. So we're in a good position, and we've used that for some really critical issues. For example, COVID-19, when we were able to assure that our federal government helped us out here with billions of dollars. Red Hill, same thing, when we had to you know, repair and defuel and deal with the crisis of Red Hill, billions of dollars, and then finally the Maui wildfire, which is now billions of dollars also. So appropriations is a major committee, and I try to use it very wisely as well as I possibly can for Hawaii. To your question, these are tough times because, of course, we have an administration that doesn't believe that many of these programs are worthwhile, doesn't believe that we should continue them. One very good example is Medicaid. Medicaid is one of the most important programs we have. Hundreds of thousands of our own ohana rely on Medicaid for their basic health care, And yet this president and unfortunately, my majority colleagues in Congress right now passed a bill a couple of weeks ago that would gut Medicaid. And so we're going to have to pick up the pieces here in Hawaii. So, you know, I want to say, I want to be really honest with people in how I say what's going on in Washington. These are very difficult times for some very key programs. But I do not believe that the basic programs like Social Security or Medicare, for example, are under threat to go away. You know, so I do want to give people the assurance that it's not like the rug's just going to be cut out from underneath them. But I do want to say very honestly, I've said the same thing to the governor, to the mayors. We, the congressional delegation, Senator Schatz and Hirono and Rep. Takuda and I meet regularly with the governor, with the mayors, with our community partners and say, this is what the situation is. And you have to be really careful with our kala down here so that where there are gaps during this administration, we can take care of our people during those times. So don't go, you know, hog wild spending right now when this money might be needed to cover the Medicaid gap, for example. It's hard to imagine what things were like for tens of millions of people in our country before these programs. There was no social safety net. And these are great programs, and we should protect them. And around 750,000 people in Hawaii, so half of Hawaii, depend on, for example, Medicare and Medicaid for their basic health care. So we've got to protect them.
Very important. Well, again, thank you so much for what you're doing and advocating for us. And just to be sitting on that committee, I mean, to have both of you guys kind of anchoring those appropriations committees, very important for our island homes. So
especially a small state like Hawaii.
Yes.
You know, a big state, okay, maybe you got plenty of reps, but a small state like Hawaii, if you're not powering, you're going to get lost in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is a big and a tough place, and you've got to be able to navigate it.
Well, thank you for the work that you and the rest of our congressional committee does to take care of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mahalo.